Good day to everybody. I'm going to commence the first lesson of economics, that is development. This is the first lesson of economics, class 10. So let's commence this lesson. Development. The idea of development or progress has always been within us. Let us see what exactly development means. We have aspirations, wishes, desires about what we would like to do. Let us imagine what development or progress is likely to mean to different persons. See, development may be different to different people. Suppose if a dam is built in your area, you might be happy because you will feel that the dam will provide water and electricity to you. But have you ever thought that many innocent people who are living near the dams will be displaced, they will lose their homes? So, development means different things to different people. Development may be good for some, but development which is good for you may be destruction for others. The first subtopic is development promises. Development promises of different people and different goals. Different people can have different development goals. Development for one may not be development for the other person. It can be destructive for the other person. For example, development of a girl. For a girl, development of a girl, it can be freedom and opportunity as her brother. Suppose a girl wants freedom and opportunities that is as same as her brother. She wants to share the household chores with her brother. She wants equality with her brother. So development may be different for different people. Different people may have different developmental goals. Development for one may not be development for the other person. It can be destructive for the others. Next subtopic is income and other goals. People want more and more income. Money and material things that one can buy it is a factor on which our life depends. See, for some people, material things and money is development because their life depends entirely on money and materialistic things. Some people want more and more money, more income. However, the quality of one life also depends on non material things such as equal treatment, freedom, security, and respect for others. For development, people look at a mix of goals. The developmental goals are not only about better income, but it is also about the important things in life. See, this is a very important subtopic of the lesson. It's the crux of the lesson. We have different goals. Some people want to earn more money. Some people believe in earning more money, becoming rich. Some people believe in materialistic things. But some people do not give much importance to money. They give importance to the quality of life, like non-materialistic things like equal treatment, freedom, security, and respect for others. So different people have mix of goals with regard to development. So developmental goals cannot be better income and better standard of living. It focuses on the other important things of life. National development. Different persons could have different as well as conflicting notions of a country's development. Most likely, you would find that different students in the class have different answers to the above question. In fact, you might yourself think of many different answers and not be too sure of any of these. Now, individuals have different goals and notion of national development. It is very important to keep in mind that different persons could have different as well as conflicting notions of a country's development. That means different people have different views of a country's development. However, can all ideas be equally important? There will be conflicts between the ideas. What would be fair and just path for all? We also have to think whether there is a better way of doing this. Would the idea benefit a large number of people or only small group? National development means thinking about these questions. Different people have different views with regard to country's development. Whatever views that are there in the minds of the people, will it benefit the entire nation or a small group of people? So there are many questions with regard to that. Next subtopic is how to compare different countries or states. Well, development can mean different things. How come some countries are generally called developed and some countries are underdeveloped? Some are called developing countries. When we compare different things, they could have similarities as well as differences. See, in order to compare countries, their income is considered to be the most important attribute. Countries with higher income are more developed than others with less income. We call the developed countries as developed countries because they have more income compared to the countries that are developing or underdeveloped. As different countries have different populations, comparing total income will not tell us what an average person earns. So we compare the average income of the countries. We compare the average income of the countries. Depending upon the income, we divide them into three different categories: developed country, underdeveloped country, developing country. So countries with higher income are developed and countries with less income. That's how we are comparing different countries and states. As different countries have different populations, comparing to total income will not tell us what an average person earns. Some countries like India and China, they have more population. That may not tell the total income of an average person. Okay, next. Okay. Usually we take one or more important characteristic of a person and compare them based on these characteristics. Okay, next subtopic, average income. Let's see what is average income. However, for comparison between countries, total income is not just a useful measure. Since some countries have different populations, comparing total income will not tell the average person is likely to earn. Are people in the country better than the others in a different country? Okay, let's see what is average income. Average income is the total income of the country divided by its population. See, total income of the country divided by its population, it is the average income. It is also called per capita income. Per capita income is the total income of the country divided by its population. In world development reports, per capita income is used in classifying countries. Countries with per capita income of US dollars 12,056 are called rich countries. Countries with per capita income US dollars 955 or less are called low income countries. For example, India. So some countries having high per capita are known as rich countries. Some countries with low per capita income are called uh, are not so rich countries. They are poor countries because they have low per capita income. For example, India. Income and other criteria. When we think of a nation or a region, beside average income, see, we should not see the income of a particular region or a nation. Public facilities are equally important. They are also one of the important characteristics. Income and other criteria. See, when we looked at individuals' aspirations and goals, we found that people not only think of better income, but they have other goals like security, respect, equal treatment. Okay, and what could these attributes be? For example, let's take an example of the per capita income of Punjab, Kerala, and Bihar. Actually, the figures per capita net state domestic product current prices. Let us ignore what the complicated term exactly mean. Roughly, we can take it to be the per capita income of the state. Punjab, for example, Punjab has highest per capita income. Bihar is the bottom. This means an average a person in Punjab earned 26,000 in a year, whereas an average person in Bihar would earn only 5,500. So per capita income were used as measure of development. Punjab has more per capita income and Bihar has less per capita income. Punjab is considered as the most developed state compared to Bihar, and at least developed state out of these three. Uh, Out of Kerala, Bihar, um, Punjab is the most developed state and it has high per capita income. Okay, okay. Suppose in Kerala, out of 1,000 children born alive, 11 died before completing 1 year of age, as compared to Punjab in proportion of children dying within 1 year of birth is 49. It is nearly 5 times more. On the other hand, per capita income of Punjab is more than Kerala. Just think how dear you are to your parents. Think of everyone who is so happy when a child is born. Now think of the parents who lose their children before they even celebrate their child's first birthday. Let's see how painful it is. It's really painful and devastating. In 2003, okay, it is in 2003, we are not talking of old times. It is 56 years after independence when our metro towns are full on high-rise buildings, shopping malls. The problem does not end with infant mortality rate. In Bihar, many children do not get to go to school. This means that if you went to school in Bihar, more than half of your class would be missing. So those who could have been in school are not there. If this had happened to you, would you not be able to read what you're reading now? In Bihar, many children do not get the opportunity to go to school. And if you see the infant mortality rate in uh, Kerala is like this. Out of 1,000 children born, only 11 die, but in Punjab it is 49. Public facilities. Let's talk about public facilities. These are the services provided by the government to the citizens. See, money in your pocket cannot buy everything. Okay, even if you have money, you can buy all goods and services you need to well. So income itself is not a completely adequate indicator of material goods and services which citizens are able to use. For example, normally your money cannot buy you pollution free environment and unadulterated medicines. Okay, so the government should provide better facilities to the citizens. Just because you have a lot of money, don't think you can buy everything in the world. Okay, it depends on the facilities that are provided by the government. Money may not also not be able to protect you from infectious disease unless the whole of your community takes preventive steps. So the government or your community should bear in mind that they should provide you better facilities. Just because you have money, that doesn't mean that you can buy the best things. Your community should provide the best things. Some of the important public facilities include infrastructure, sanitation, public transport, healthcare, water, etc. The last but not the least, the next topic is sustainable development. Sustainable development is defined as a development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generation. According to sustainable development, it fulfills the needs required for the present life without compromising the ability for the future generation. Scientists have always been advising and warning us that the present type and levels of development are not sustainable. See, our lifestyle is not sustainable. We should not only cater our needs of present, we should also be concerned about the future generation. For example, overuse of groundwater, exhaustion of natural resources. Whichever way we define development, suppose for the present a particular country is quite developed, we would certainly like the level of development to go up further or at least be maintained for future generations. Is it desirable? However, since the second half of the 20th century, a number of scientists have always been warning us. See, the present development is not sustainable. It may not be useful for future. So when we are using certain things, it should be used for the future generation. We should not misuse certain resources for development. We should think about the future also. Development should be for a longer time. So we are finishing the lesson with this. Thank you so much. I believe that you have understood the lesson. So I'll recapitulate the lesson. First lesson of economics. Different people have different notions of development. Development for one person may not be development for the other person. It can be destruction for the other. Now, income and other goals. Some people want more money. For some people, money and material things are very important. But there are more important things than money. We should give importance to non material things like equal treatment, freedom, security, and respect. Different people have mix of developmental goals. So, development does not only mean better income or money, there are many other important things associated with development. National development. Different people have different notions, views, conflicting notions of a country's development. We compare one country with the another. One country is compared to the another country based on the income. The more income they have, the more developed they are. Countries with higher income are developed than countries with less income. So, some different countries have different populations. So, comparing total income will not tell what an average person earns. We compare average income of the countries. Average income is the total income divided by its population. It is also called per capita income. As per the World Development Reports, countries with high per capita income are called rich countries. Countries with low per capita income are called low income countries or poor countries. Income and other criteria. When we think of a nation or a region, we should not see only the average income, we should also see the public facilities provided in a country. Just because you have money, that doesn't mean that you can buy every good and service. Okay, the services are provided by the government. Public facilities are the services provided by the government. It includes infrastructure, sanitation, public transport, healthcare, water. Just because you have money, that doesn't mean you can live in a pollution free environment. Just because you have money, that doesn't mean that you can afford to buy unadulterated medicine. So, certain things are not in our hands. So, public facilities are provided by the government to citizens. Sustainable development is defined as development that meets the needs of the present generation without compromising the needs of the future generation. Scientists have always been telling us that the present type of development uh, is not sustainable. For example, overuse of groundwater and exhaustion of natural resources. See, overground water is getting overused. Groundwater is a renewable source. These sources are replenished by nature in the case of crops and plants. However, these resources, if it is overused, for example, in the case of groundwater, if we use more than what is being replenished by rain, then it will get finished. And non-renewable resources are that once it gets exhausted, it may not come back. We have fixed stock on the earth. It cannot be replenished. We do not discover the new resources we did not know earlier. New resources this way add to the stock. However, over time, even this will also get exhausted. Thank you so much.